I'm sorry. I made myself laugh doing that. I'm sorry, but we can start like that. It's okay.
That was great.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. You're 31 now. You're, what were you saying, Alex? Over the hill.
31. Ryan's over the hill.
I'm feeling different.
You feel different?
Yeah. I'm seeing things different.
Really? How so? You see
getting that Social Security check?
Oh, yeah, man. And I just, it's a little bit tougher to wake up every day. I'm not going to lie.
Bro, that's some bull. Literally, like, since we were 13, you couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro, don't.
Which is 31 in reverse.
Oh,
man.
Yo, at this point, we have for sure known each other like more than half of our lives.
Oh, yeah, dude. Since 12 and 11.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. Me and Casey were talking about that the other day. I was like...
Almost 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, my God, dude. 20 years seems like the duration of my life, so... Anything longer than that is like, that's for sure not real. Like, I feel 30, but I'm like, that seems old as fuck. Like,
You don't remember like 10 years of your life?
No, I don't remember the majority of my life, to be honest.
I feel like a child they let drive.
Who's they?
Yeah, who is they?
The people who let me get my license.
The powers that be.
The state, I guess. I don't know.
Power within.
The power within.
The governor, the mayor.
How we doing, boys?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Tired today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Little Debbie.
That was a Little Debbie, by the way. That wasn't like... Honestly, I've seen way worse in Fayetteville. But I've been telling people, because people in my office are like, everybody got way too bent out of shape about this Hurricane Deborah. If there's people, I'm sure like Grace in Australia has no idea what we're talking about when we say Little Debbie.
Pretty sure they get typhoons.
Yeah?
Which is a hurricane that spins in reverse.
It's a hurricane. No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
That's not what that is.
They get monsters over there.
It's a different hemisphere. It spins the other way.
Oh.
The toilets also flush.
I feel like that part's a myth.
I'll find it out.
No, I feel like that is probably not true at all. But yeah,
you were thinking it was going to be worse?
Well, everybody was. Everybody, like, at least at work, we're like, oh my God, it's going to be so terrible. Like, we couldn't find water.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to Walmart. There's like no water, no milk, no bread, no nothing, whatever. And then it was like not really that bad at all.
That's every storm. I think, like, people always freak out. What are you laughing about?
What are you gigging?
Ultimately, after all of the scientific talk has been done, we can confidently state that the only thing that has an influence on which way down the drain the water goes in Australia is the shape of the basin that you are using.
You see what I'm saying, dude? You can't freaking believe everything you see on the internet.
So you thought for a moment that the water in Australia reversed different?
Oh no, I'm sure he thought that his entire life. Am I wrong? You thought that?
No, that's been the truth.
See, I told you.
It's been the truth.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard that my whole life. Have you never heard that?
What about Australian water reversing different?
Yes. You've never heard that? No. I've heard that my entire life.
Okay. Tropical cyclones above the equator spin counterclockwise, while those below it spin clockwise. So tropical cyclones, that being tropical storms, hurricanes, and typhoons.
Well, then that means that a typhoon is not just a reverse hurricane.
So they don't reverse different?
A typhoon in the southern hemisphere below the equator spins different.
Sir, that is not what we are discussing here, and I'm going to need you to just fess up.
No, this is where we started, but I likened this to flushing the toilet because the time I flushed the toilet was a bigger storm than Debbie.
Right.
But
right. Yeah, for sure.
That's how we got there.
Yeah, man. People are always freaking out about storms, and I don't know. I saw the report that they were like going to be expecting the Carolinas to be on the outskirts of the storm. So I was just like, whatever.
Nah, it wasn't nothing. Emily got kind of... Did you see she sent you that video?
Mm-hmm.
The water was like coming up to her door.
There's someone... I think one of Jenny's coworkers had some flooding like in her house. But I want to say they might live right outside of Wilmington.
Yeah. I have a couple coworkers across the bridge that couldn't get to work today.
Dang.
It was like super...
Lucky them.
Yeah, I know. For real. I was stuck in there. Like, there was nobody in there.
So basically, for the audience, we had like that tropical storm Debbie passed through yesterday. And hey, the rain was crazy, though.
It's Deborah.
Is it Deborah?
Yeah, put the respect on
No, it's
Deborah.
Debbie.
I thought it was Debbie.
Oh,
It's Debbie.
okay.
It's Deb.
Yeah. yeah. If you're cool with her, it's Deb. Like, if you know her, you know what I mean? It's Deb.
No, we cool. We had some
Well,
water
I got
leaking.
under her outskirts.
Oh, dude.
Wait a minute.
All right, bro.
Does it reverse different?
It's only when you flip it and reverse it.
Yo, that's unhinged, dude. I cannot believe you just went there with that. That's nuts. If y'all can't tell, we're doing a stream of consciousness episode. I think you could probably tell from Alex's shenanigans. So I kind of just want to talk about what's been going through our minds lately.
Yeah, for sure. In all seriousness.
Like, I feel like I've been going through a little bit of like a spiritual battle.
So how about you, man? How are you settling into Wilmington?
I am feeling like I'm settling in. Yeah, it's starting to feel normal. Things are finally starting to get stable. I like it here. It's awesome. It's so great being so close to the podcast. Like,
yeah,
dude, not having to drive 2.5 hours has been like the greatest thing ever. If we have literally anything we need to do, I am 2 minutes down the road.
Dude, we see each other like 10 times as much now.
Yeah.
It's like literally 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
Lately.
It's like how it used to be in Fayetteville when we both lived in Fayetteville. We saw each other all the time. But no, I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting. Like I feel like it's going good. I miss my family. Like I do miss my family. Yeah. I feel like, how long do you think it took you to get over that?
Oh, definitely a while. But I will tell you that you get used to the distance. And like I've been telling you even before you moved here, like when you adjust to the distance, you actually find that like every time you see them is better. You know what I mean? Because you're not around them all the time, every week. And, you know, obviously being around family is great, but when it's like absence, you know, makes the heart grow fonder. So those holidays are so much more special and so much more meaningful. And you want to just squeeze every drop out of being around your parents. And it's actually, it seems better to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like me and my family there's a spider. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I feel like me and my family were kind of, I don't know. Our family's been through a lot of kind of just like weird transitional phases of like people moving away, or then like there's been a couple kind of scary situations. Like dad's gone through some stuff. With
health
problems. Yeah. And there's been a few things kind of personal, but I feel like within the past like year or two, we are just starting to get to the point where we all feel like we're kind of like close. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't felt like that for a while. Like we always like, we love each other. We always have loved each other. It's not that. It's that like, I don't know, like there's family members you get around where it's just like easy and seamless and like it's fun. You love being around them and whatever. And then sometimes like you're around your family and it's like not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like effortless.
Right.
You're kind of having to, I know
what you're saying.
You're kind of having to like put on a little bit, and like there's almost this feeling of like, okay, I don't like completely want to be here. But in the past couple of years, we've like finally started to get really close. There's been a lot of healing stuff in my family. So I think like having, like, especially when I was working with my brother, like for that full year, we were super, super close. And then like right after that, boom, I'm in Wilmington. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm in this spot in my life right now where I'm being like constantly back to back served lessons.
Yeah, I feel that too.
By like the universe, or by, I don't know by what. Like I feel like I am just constantly being put through these kind of trials, even like on a smaller scale. Like they're not all huge and devastating and whatever. Like I still feel like I've lived a fairly easy life, but just little things.
I think that there's always resistance when something is evolving. You understand what I'm saying? Like I think as you're growing as a person, and we are growing as a team, and what we're doing, and like we're getting more like laser focused and locked in, and obviously the growth is happening. I feel like as we are rapidly growing collectively as the team, we all are also going on like our individual growth journey too.
Yeah.
And I feel like when that happens, like there's always resistance when you grow. It's always uncomfortable. It's always like, when something evolves, the caterpillar, it goes into the chrysalis and then it becomes the butterfly. It's always this like strange, uncomfortable situation. And I feel like maybe that's what it is, like, because your intentions are to keep moving forward and to keep focusing in on this and to keep like doing this and bettering yourself. It's like these things are being thrown at you left and right, but it's like as you're overcoming them, maybe each time you're becoming a little bit more equipped to like deal with all of these problems.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's true. It's just like it's been tough at points. It's been particularly tough at points, and I don't know. I'm not like I feel like I'm in touch with my emotions, but sometimes I feel like it's hard to decode how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if y'all experienced this, but a lot of times I'll feel things way before I know like why I'm feeling them. Like, sometimes it'll go on for a long time, like potentially weeks sometimes. And for me personally, I have to slow everything down and literally like have a conversation with myself and be like, okay, like completely stop doing everything else, shut the TV off, put my phone down, like completely stop doing everything and kind of like meditate in a sense and just like talk to myself and be like, what's going on? Why are we feeling this? And then process it. And that's finally when I can like come to peace with whatever that thing was that was bothering me, which is kind of weird because I feel like in my mind, I know certain things. Like I know that growth is uncomfortable, change is uncomfortable, and evolution is uncomfortable. But then when I'm in the middle of it, I'm like, why am I so uncomfortable?
Right.
And I forget to stop and be like, your whole entire life is changing around you in like a huge dramatic way. And like, I can like kind of beat myself up sometimes about it and like about feeling the way that I feel. But it's important to remember that you can't like control the way that you feel. Mm-hmm. You can't control like the initial feeling, at least.
Yeah, that's something I've always wrestled with, like feeling bad about something or someone or a situation, and then like feeling like guilty, like why do I even feel this way? And that's a lesson that I've had to learn, that like, you know, not every day's gonna be perfect. Like some days I feel like we are literally like, if there was some metaphysical calendar that was like tomorrow you're gonna feel like this, tomorrow you know, people might say that's astrology, but today you're gonna feel like this. I feel like many of those days are just you're gonna wake up and you're gonna feel bad. Yeah. And it's okay to feel bad. Mm-hmm. It's okay to not be, you know, on top of your game. And that's something that I'm wrestling with. Mm-hmm. Like even Jenny today, she was just feeling so tired and so like just emotionally. I mean, you know, everything's fine. Just having a day where she's just like, man, I'm just not on my game today. I'm so tired. I just feel like anxious. And I was telling her, I was like, Jenny, you know what? She's like, I don't want to feel this way. I want to turn my day around. I'm like, well, maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe you're just supposed to kind of chill in this state for a little bit and just relax and not resist yourself so much. And I was like, you're so productive. You're so badass. You're doing amazing at your job. You're doing X, Y, Z amazing things. Mm-hmm. You need to stop beating yourself up so bad. And tomorrow we're going to wake up and we're going to feel better.
Yeah.
You know? And she just kind of sat there. I hope she took it in, but.
Yeah, it's funny. There are people like I would consider Jenny to seems like one of these people that like if they are having kind of a down day or something, it feels a little off. Like she seems very capable at most times to like turn it around and like still get the stuff done that she needs to get done and be productive. And like, she's very on it in that way. And then like, I know people where it seems like it is just
impossible.
Yeah. Completely impossible. And then I know other people who it's like, it seems like there's never an issue.
I used to be one of the impossible people. Or like I can't turn this shit around in my head, and as I'm getting older, I'm starting to be a little better at it. But
like you think you mean for like extended periods of time, you would feel like that?
Oh yeah. Especially lately, man. Like with the house stuff, you know, buying the house, and there was quite a bit of like, it's hard to say buyer's remorse, but just it's one thing when you're making decisions and you're spending money and you're like literally changing your life and you're like, logically, this is a good choice. This is a good idea. I'm going to do this. You're doing it. Okay, I'm doing it. But then when the dust settles after the storm of it all, and then you're on the other side, I'm sitting here like, oh my God, should I have done this? Should I have done this? And I've grappled with, I mean, just like you, man. Like, I feel like at the very same time, this is so weird, but at the same time, our lives both just got flipped upside down. And Alex is about to, but in a really good way.
Yeah.
When he gets married, and it's really not going to be a shocking change for you because you've been together so long. It's going to be a good change.
Yeah.
You know, but
how you feeling?
I think it's going to be a very
seamless.
Like, I don't think there's going to be a change.
No.
It is just interesting. Like,
there will be a little change, and it's going to be how you feel about each other.
I believe it.
It's real, man.
I'm kind of over. She probably won't listen to this, but
we love you, Olivia.
No, yeah, all of that's for sure. But it's just like this whole planning of the wedding and doing all of this part of like everything leading up to it. I'm just so over it, and I'm like listening to you guys talk about your spiritual journey lately, and I'm just sitting here thinking that I've been so wrapped up in like material stuff for like the last 6 months that I haven't really given my spiritual journey any thought. And I'm sure that you guys can tell just with the nature of our show and the nature of our relationships and stuff, but like, holy crap, like napkin colors, freaking, oh, this person's not coming, this person's coming.
How many invites have you sent out to XYZ functions, you know?
Who's
right.
RSVP'd?
Right. And then this shower, that shower, this shower. Who's RSVP'd? Who's opened the invitation and not gotten back to us and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know, man. There's not a lot of people not coming. It's going to be...
But that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's also good. A little stressful.
It can be, yeah.
I can't believe I got to kiss her in front of that many people.
Dude, that's so funny. That like that's a real thing that you grapple with. You've talked about, this isn't the first time you've mentioned it.
No, we are not PDA people.
Like
y'all know that. I mean, y'all have been around me.
Well, I didn't know that, but now I do.
Well, I mean,
he said it before.
How many times have you seen me and Olivia kiss each other?
That's true. And now that I think about it, literally never.
Right.
But I'm not sitting there thinking about like, ooh, when are my friends going to kiss?
Yeah, no.
You know, I don't think about these things.
But some people are very, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are very touchy-feely, very PDA with each other.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, that's cool. Don't know what that's
Seriously.
like.
Good for them.
Don't know what that's like at all, bro.
I feel like me and Casey are like that. We're very lovey-dovey.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as you might think people would think. You guys are pretty mature.
We try to be considerate about it. Okay,
there's a time and a place.
So yeah, for sure. For the people who don't know, Casey just started working for the company that I work for,
which is awesome.
It has been really great.
You're literally Jim and Pam.
Honestly, it kind of feels like that sometimes. Like, but so we drive to work together and everything. Like, we get up at the same time. It's like, it's so weird her being familiar with like
get home at the same time.
Yeah, everything. And so, but it's funny because what we've been doing is we'll like walk into the building and like going up the stairs, and right before we open the door to go into our office, that's when we kiss, so that we're not doing it in front of a bunch of people and like making people uncomfortable.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah, we're considerate to a certain degree, but
I just think that falls under professional.
Yeah, it's the workplace.
Yeah,
it's like I just don't want to make anybody.
Don't want to give HR something to do.
Yeah,
God forbid.
Yeah, I'm tight with HR though, so it's all good.
Good.
You said something that I have been thinking about a lot lately, and I'm interested in talking about, which is that like you feel like you've been in a situation where you're not like it's a lot of material stuff and like earthly stuff, and you haven't really had time to let your mind just kind of be open and like accept spirituality and practice it and stuff like that,
or even think about it.
I feel like I've been in that since mostly since I moved here, because it's been like we've been so stressed about making the money work, and like, all that. It's just constantly like Casey has been looking for a job, and it's been super, super stressful because she's like looking for a job and then also running her business that she owns. And, that is its own like source of stress.
Which
and all
is?
That stuff. Casey Mang Design, or it's Casey Made.
Yeah. We had a rebrand. So
yes,
say it again.
We did have
I spoke over you.
So Instagram at It's Casey Made, ITSCASEYMADE. She's been running that. We're doing a big event in Durham soon this weekend, but it'll be earlier for the listener. But there's been a lot of stuff going on, and then on top of all of that, it's been like I'm working on Twice Born stuff, I'm working on Emily's album. I've got a lot of like projects up in the air right now. And then on top of all of that stuff, it's like there's so many things right now that I feel like
another song.
What? Oh, another song.
Yeah, we are working.
We can talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We like, what was that?
Y'all
like,
make the rules, not me.
Monday.
I just tell you where to sit.
Yeah. A few nights ago, we finally sat down. You know, we've been waiting for months to have free time to work on this. We've like mentioned in passing that there's another Patreon show coming. And
we also mentioned it will be on the other side of our crazy uprooting situations in life, which we are approaching.
We're here pretty much. Like we're
one more left.
We got but that's the big celebration.
Right.
That's gonna feel like the big relief of all the pressure.
Dude, his wedding's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be the best. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Like I like weddings. I usually feel obligated to go to weddings. There have been a couple weddings. Y'all's wedding was obviously a blast.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, like that one was one that there was no feeling of like I don't want it. That one was so much fun. Our buddy Alex Hodge, his wedding was amazing. I loved that. And then I'm so excited for your wedding, dude. I cannot wait. But it's gonna be like a huge like burst of the bubble for all of us. Like all of our lives in that moment will finally be settling down for a minute. Like it'll be like time to like let out a breath of like relief. So I can't wait for that. But
yeah, I'm going to France. Y'all are relaxing.
Yeah. I mean, are you saying being in France isn't going to be relaxing?
I hope it is.
It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be sweet. You're going to Paris, right?
For 2 days, which is like about all the time I want to spend in Paris.
And then where else?
I don't know. South of France.
It's like you don't remember?
No, it's
all.
all
You going to Versailles at all?
I think maybe.
You got to go there, dude.
I think it's on the itinerary.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're doing like a guided tour through.
You know what Versailles is, right?
Nice.
It's
where
like,
they signed the treaty.
It's like where the king, yeah, it's where the king lived. The castle.
King of the castle.
Yeah, you can tour it and everything. It's like a museum now.
We are taking a little bit of an aside, but it's okay. What made y'all choose France?
I don't know what made her choose France.
See, that's the thing about marriage too, man. You're gonna become a lot more comfortable with like, we're in the house buying process, right? And we'll get back to France in a minute, but
then we'll get back to Green Boys. It's okay. Yeah, this is great. This is great.
This is the rabbit hole.
Yeah, this is great.
No, but we're buying houses, and we toured 3 or 4 of them, and she sees this one, she really likes this one, and I'm just like, sure,
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked it. I'm underplaying it, but I'm just saying you got to get used to a lot more of that, brother.
It's true, but also like you always, it's always like the happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house.
Yep.
Whatever, but it's less like nefarious than it sounds.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just participating and making them happy.
Yeah, what it actually is more. It's like that, like participating,
right?
Like the give and the take.
Going to the concerts with her that I would never in a million years go see on my own, but it's like it makes her
one
happy.
of the responsibilities of like being married. This is true. This is.
I can't wait to hear it, but I've got my own take on.
We're gonna give you marriage advice right now. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
It is it's very much like you have a responsibility when you get married to not always put yourself first. Like
Yep.
And that can be a hard adjustment.
Yeah.
Like I consider myself for a lot of my life a pretty selfish person. That's like naturally who I have been for a lot of my life.
I can agree with that, I think. We'll talk about it.
Okay. You can agree.
No. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
Let me be more clear.
I'm kidding.
I can agree that I feel the same way about myself.
I see.
But I think there's selfishness in like a selfish way. And then I think there's selfishness in like a self-loving kind of way.
Like I have priorities. My time is important.
Right. Like I think there's healthy boundaries selfishness.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I would rather be selfish and hurt people's feelings than be a pushover. And have people walk all over me all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry, but go ahead. Marriage advice.
No, I feel that. And those things are very different, by the way. Like,
right.
Like the self-love thing and the boundaries and stuff, that like shouldn't, for the most part, like shouldn't go away. Like you cannot you can't be capable of loving someone else if you don't love yourself and take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, but I think it's a good thing to bring up because I'm sure there's people out there that struggle with that and will write that off as, oh, I'm being selfish. It's like, no, you're not. You're being good to yourself.
Good point. Yeah. Good point.
And it's really, so I won't name names, but someone in my life is going through this. Is on the other side where this person will do anything for anybody without limit, without caring for themselves.
Yeah.
And in the process of trying to find this self-love and self-respect is like hitting the walls on both sides. Will do very, very selfish things and be very, very rude to other people, but because they're hitting the wall and trying to find that boundary. So knowing that this person who's very, very close to me is in the process of trying to find this middle, I'm having to be very lenient with how I respond to some of these things when this person is hitting the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is that's very caring of you. And that's like...
Sometimes. I'm not saying I'm really good at it.
Yeah, but you're trying, and that's all that matters. We were having a conversation the other day. I don't remember when or... Yeah, we have conversations.
No, I know. I just don't remember this one. But you also haven't said what it was about yet.
Right. You should probably let me say what it was about first.
All right.
We were talking about how, like, what makes you... Like, always doing good...
Oh, yeah.
...is not...
That's right.
Just makes you a good person. You don't have to constantly make every right decision and constantly do the right thing to be considered a good person. The thing that makes you a good person is your genuine desire to be good.
Yeah.
And to be
And I fully
better.
agree.
Like,
I 100% agree.
Well, right. I mean, I think
To
what
be
you're
better.
describing is being perfect versus doing your best.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. And, like, there is no perfect.
There's no perfect people in heaven.
There's no perfect people anywhere.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And I feel like there's people who feel like in order to be a good person, they have to be perfect.
And that's a lot of pressure.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of pressure.
Oh my God. You can't put that kind of pressure.
Actually, I hope Olivia listens to this one.
Whoa.
I do not endorse this.
I don't condone this. I don't. Yeah.
No,
I kind of...
She wouldn't mind me saying that. Go ahead.
I low-key, like, in this whole wedding ordeal, you do realize I'm sort of like... She's my boss, right?
Oh, dude.
You understand that?
No, I completely understand that.
So you watch it.
You're my boss.
Right.
But for that day, she's going to be your boss.
Yeah.
She's like, I gotta... Yes, ma'am. For those who don't know, I'm officiating the wedding.
Yeah.
Me and you both, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, if it would make you feel better, man, I will put my hands on your shoulders when it's time to kiss the bride to give you a little
I'm
boost.
sure that'll make him feel better.
Actually, if you just get out of the way, that'd be...
For the picture? I was kind of hoping to be in it.
You can be in one.
You know, not to make the whole day about me here, but I am feeling a lot of pressure, dude.
Are you really?
I mean, not in a non-serious way, in a not stressful.
Does it help?
But be honest. Do you feel any pressure?
I hope he feels some pressure. I hope.
Dude, shut up.
I feel
It's a big deal.
I feel okay. So I've done one wedding. It was like 75 people, and now we're gonna be what 300.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, right now we're sitting at about 240.
Great. And I have probably met like 25 of them. So, and it's like
that kind of makes it
easier.
Flip it. Flip your pressure.
Flip it and reverse it.
Yeah.
That's the second time. In this
So I'm gonna work with some secret identities that I don't necessarily want to put in your head that I'm gonna like talk to at some point. Once I because obviously we have to meet to get what you expect out of the wedding, but then once I draft it up, there's a couple of people that I'm gonna approach tied to people
Yeah, we talked about
and just get their opinion. Well, I've thought of some more, and just get some opinions. Like, hey, is this on vibe? And I'll feel better after that. But
that's good. You're doing your due diligence. That's going to make all the difference. There's no you don't need to feel pressure. Most of these people are people you don't even friggin' know.
And it's also like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, there's only one wedding I've been to where the officiant made an impact on me, and it was because I was related to them.
Right.
So it's like, yeah. And that's what I have to constantly remind myself when we're going through this planning is like, who's going to remember what color the napkins are?
Dude.
No one.
You won't.
I don't remember the color at mine.
Me either. You won't. Listen, it's so crazy. It'll be the fastest day of your whole life.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, you want to hear my wedding timeline?
Of your whole life.
No, like
By
personally where I'm at with the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like, just go day of. Day of, wake up with the boys chilling. Like,
Oh, you got it. You got this shit planned out in your
yeah,
head.
in my head. It's like,
Okay,
all
I'm gonna
right,
come
cool.
crash.
Okay.
Cool, sure, whatever.
I'm a crash, man. I'm one of the boys.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
one of the boys.
So then we're taking pictures. I don't know how I feel about all that. Whatever. It's going to start bubbling up. I'm going to have to get calmed down probably. Then we got to ride to the venue, and that's probably when I'm going to start to get nervous. Get nervous the whole time, show up, walk in, do what I'm supposed to do like we practiced. Try not to throw up, try not to pass out, try not to sweat too much.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Why? Is this a real concern?
I just like when the day of my wedding, you should see the pictures from my wedding. I am like as white as your shirt. Like in
Just nervous?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude.
Well,
I
so-
don't know why I was so nervous. I was like, I've been with this girl for 10 years.
Well, dude, it was the same. Oh, so one of my best buddies who's in the wedding just got engaged.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
we were chatting about it, and he had his girl on speaker, and Olivia was with me on speaker, and we were chatting about it. And they were just going off about how nervous we both were when we popped the question.
Dude, same. I wasn't.
And it's like, yeah, well, no, you
I'm
probably
just
feel
saying,
the same way.
proposal day, I was like, I'm going to puke.
Yeah, no, I'm like, dude, we've been together for 10 years. Why am I so nervous?
Yeah.
She might say no.
Like, it's not even, like, her saying no didn't even cross my mind.
Cross mine.
It was
No.
It was
Oh, yeah, it did.
Really.
That was never going to happen. That was never going to happen.
Cross my mind.
It didn't cross my mind,
Yeah.
but it's just the gravity of the situation,
I'm a worrier, though.
That's what it is. It was the gravity.
and that's where I'm at now. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, show up, do the thing. Then I think peak nerves is having to kiss her. Actually,
Really?
no,
it's
like,
going to be vows, bro.
no, we're not doing.
Oh, you're not.
We're doing personal vows, custom vows at the first look,
Got you.
and then we're doing traditional
That's cool.
vows
Dude,
at the ceremony.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't want to profess my love in front of a bunch of people. It's none of their business.
Okay. Well, you're really extreme about this PDA thing.
That's what I'm telling you. So look, no, not quite peak nerves, right? Got to kiss her. Peak nerves is dip on the way out.
You mean like
Kiss
when
her,
you do the picture?
walk out, dip. God, that's the most nerves.
Oh,
Right
same.
Oh.
I skipped that. I was
Dude.
like, baby, we're not doing that.
Which
We did not do
might
it.
be
Do
a
people
smart.
usually do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you get a second.
As you're
kiss.
walking down the aisle, then you dip.
and then it's going
and
to come
then-
down a little bit.
We didn't do
First
it.
dance. First dance is still going to be like top 3 most nervous things.
No. That's the easy part.
It's the easy part because you're talking to each other.
Yeah.
Well, we're choreographing it right now.
Oh yeah, you're doing like
That's
you're
extra.
doing
I have lessons every Sunday.
you're doing the Cupid shuffle.
No, like we have
What?
like we have a choreographed dance that I'm
Down,
we're
down, do
perfecting.
your best. for his first dance. Like, you know, that's the corny song that plays at every wedding ever. But
will
like for
not
that to be
play.
the first dance would actually unironically be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
I was gonna say like what dance we're really doing, and then I was like, nah, maybe I shouldn't say it. We'll leave it a surprise.
It's
Well,
choreographed.
The listener
Yeah.
cares
So
so much
anyway,
to know the
after
dance.
the dance, once the dance is over, it's all party.
Yeah.
Like and like once the dance is out of the way, I'm gonna have a good time.
So you're
Not
looking-
saying I'm gonna have a bad time.
Sure.
For
yeah.
just for the record, it's gonna be the best day of my
Dude,
life.
we've both been in your shoes. You don't
Yeah.
you don't have
I'm
to
talking to the viewer. I don't want
Oh,
I don't want
gotcha.
people out there to spin my words and email it to her.
email it to her.
Dude.
You know, because they all have her email.
I'm just saying.
I felt the same pressure, as you know, Alex, and this is one of my big regrets is that you weren't there at this thing. But I felt like at this point when, you know, the wedding that you officiated, we had been, long story short, you know, I proposed in, I think it was late 2019. And at this point, I had only known Alex for like a year. And then when it came time to the wedding, we had only known each other for 2 years.
I see.
So I felt like if I did invite him, which I wanted him to be there, I felt like if I did invite him, it would have been truly unfair to my other friends that you were there. You know, there was a lot of people that I didn't invite.
Yeah.
And
Because it was like
it was wedding party only, and my grandma.
Yeah, it's because it was like COVID.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I did it. Yeah. I didn't
Well,
say
if
it
it
was a
makes you
very
feel
small
better,
ceremony.
I'm not upset.
Well, I know you're not, but I'm just saying that's one of my big regrets is that you couldn't be there. At the time, we didn't have the podcast. We had been friends working together for a year.
Yeah.
And thinking back on it, I'm like, God, you should have been there, dude. You should have been there.
I feel the same way about you.
Oh, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
You know?
it just shook out that way. But
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but I loved my
And
wedding.
here we are.
And here we are. Exactly. That's all that matters. I loved my wedding, but I am sometimes like, man.
You know, it's like, I was talking to my mom about this, and she's like, everybody that was in my wedding, I'm not friends with anymore.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, okay. Like, and this was in the process of choosing these people, and that really took a lot of weight off of the situation.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then I also, like, as we get closer, and I'm like casually meeting some of my neighbors and like casually making some adult friends, and I'm like, we've just become friends 2 months out from the wedding. You're not getting invited, but like we could become great friends, and that's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are like seasons in life, and like sometimes people like come and go out of your life. You don't really have control over it. It just happens. It's just the flow of life. And
well, this is like way out of left field, but this was one of my neighbors who just came. We were walking the dog, and he was out there, and I've hung out with him a little bit, but he came to tell me his wife was pregnant.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, man, that is so awesome. And then it got me thinking, like, we plan to stay here, and like we plan to have children. And I'm like, man, is my kid gonna be running around with this kid? Like, that's huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I was like, man, we could become good friends. Like, this is all in my head. That's how I got to where I'm at. So,
damn, man, I'm now getting a picture of like the mental torture that you're going through. Like you're feeling a lot of pressure,
like foreverness pressure.
right?
Oh, yeah. But it's good, man. And the reason I brought up my beach wedding that Nick officiated was just to say that day, dude, I was so scared to read my vows. I mean, I just cried my eyes out. And honestly, the reason was because I was confessing this stuff in front of Jenny's parents, who before we were married, I didn't have that level of, I guess, like
Comfortability with them?
comfortability, like emotional openness.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously we were close and got along and had a great relationship, but I don't think that I didn't feel at the time that, I mean, I did it. I obviously was comfortable enough to do it, but I'm just saying I felt the pressure too. Like, I know exactly what you're describing, but then when it came time to the public wedding a year later, I just breezed through the vows and I didn't give a shit because I had done the hard part.
You did the same vows?
Same exact vows. Yeah.
So it was the same ceremony essentially.
But I wasn't officiating it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
okay,
not really the same ceremony. Like, we literally just walked up. Nick gave us an entirely different, original, unique ceremony. We read our vows. It was over. But the wedding, obviously, there's a little bit of a program. But obviously, the wedding one was more special emotionally.
I put in some little nerdy Easter eggs into my speech. It started with "Dearly Beloved," which is Kingdom Hearts, and then at one point I said "Share your energy with me," which is what Goku says. Yeah. Like I like worked it in there naturally so that only I could see people's faces lighting up. Like Warren was, as soon as I said "Dearly Beloved," Warren went. I saw his face.
Dude, my grandma cried her eyes out. So then that happened, and then our buddy Chris, who you don't know that well, but you've met him.
Chris Tootin.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah, that's
sorry
right.
To name drop.
Shout out to
No, it's okay. Shout out Chris Tootin. He's one of my best friends in life.
The best.
Yeah. No, we get along really well.
Yeah, he's a great guy. It's just he lives in the Raleigh
I hope
area.
that's true. I'm just speaking for myself.
No, it's true.
He doesn't not get along like
with anyone.
Anybody. He's one of those guys that like
he doesn't have enemies.
No, anyone in the world could meet this guy the first time and they're cool.
And he knows about you. I mean, obviously he knows you, but he asks about you guys. He supports the podcast. He's
the
got
best.
your back.
He's a good guy.
But he was so touched by that he asked me to do his wedding, and now here we are, full circle, doing yours.
Woo!
Yeah.
It trickles down. It passes down.
Yeah, I was. We were kind of, so we're not like, we don't belong to a church yet, and I say yet because we kind of plan on it, even though we've talked about like I don't go to church, I go to podcasts, but I can't send my kids to podcasts. So
yes, you can. Sure, you can.
So anyway, we were like, man, who are we gonna have officiate the wedding? Because like we don't have a relationship with the church. We don't have a relationship with like a preacher or anybody like that. And my cousins in the past have used some of my uncles to and have them do it. But then I was like, then I thought, the podcast is my church. And so then I was like, Olivia, what do you think about Ryan? And she was like, that's a great idea. Immediately. Like, no hesitation. I was like, really? You're good with it? And she's like, yeah. So then we just asked Ryan.
What's funny is when we were at your, this was like the week before you moved here. You had I think it was your engagement party, right?
Yes.
That Jenny couldn't make because she was in Charlotte.
Yes.
And I was there, and unless you're comfortable with it, I won't say names.
No,
but I was talking to Olivia's parents, who obviously I know really well because they were my bosses years ago.
Right.
So like we have a rapport and a previous history.
That's cool.
And I go up to Olivia's dad, and I love her dad. And I go up to her dad, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Mr. Walton. I'll just say that, Mr. Walton. And I was like, did you hear that I'm officiating the wedding? He was like, what? Really? No, that's crazy. I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I go up to Olivia's mom, and I'm like, hey, did you hear I'm officiating the wedding? And she looked at me like, who do you think made the decision? Who do you think talked her into it? Yes, I know. So it's just the dichotomy there was so funny.
Yeah, Elaine and Olivia planned this wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her mother. Yeah.
And that was a big boost of confidence that she was like, yes, get him to do it. So
I think it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's going to be perfect.
It'll be a good time.
I can't wait.
So
yeah, you go for it.
France. I don't really think we're going to get a Y out of that.
Yeah, I don't think we are either. Olivia wanted it.
Yeah. We've traveled Europe together with her parents, and that was a good time with the same company that we're traveling with this time.
Well, so wait, like a travel company? Like
yeah.
That's cool.
Honestly, like when I got invited to Italy, so basically to tell the whole story.
Yeah, tell it, because I don't think I know this.
She went study abroad in Italy for 2 months.
Olivia?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So she did a dance program. This was
Years
her
ago.
junior year of college.
That's bad.
So we were still together. This had to have been 5 or 6 or 7 years ago now. And so she did 2 months abroad, did a performance, and then for her like final performance, her parents, her mom flew in, and me and her dad flew in, and we all met up with each other in Florence. So we watched her performance in Florence, and then we went and started a tour with Gate One. And Gate One like handles everything, but they handle everything in a way where you still get to do what you want. And this is like not sponsored by them, but I did have a good time.
But go to gate1.com/Bledsoe. I'm kidding.
If you want to, if Gate One's out there and hears this, I feel like that'd be a good match because we get some trips out of it.
There we go.
But
that's right.
So yeah, they handle all of your hotel accommodations. They handle all of your travel. You get to go to multiple cities in the same country. They make sure that you hit all of the museums, all of the sightseeing, all of the castles and whatnot. But they'll only do 1 meal or 2 meals max per day. So maybe you meet for breakfast and then you go hit the road, and then you have lunch together, then you see what you need to see. But then they say, all right, have fun for dinner and meet you back at the hotel. Dude, then you get to do what you want.
That sounds awesome.
But I don't have to worry about speaking French. I don't have to worry about finding the right place to stay. I don't have to worry about.
So you'll have like a translator follow you?
We'll have a tour guide throughout the day. So we'll have a group. It'll be a group of people, and we did small groups.
You've got to do the catacombs.
Yeah.
Yes. If you have the opportunity to do the catacombs. It's in Paris.
I know we're doing a vintage car ride around Paris.
That's cool. You know what else you need to do, bro? If you have an evening, I'm serious. Write this down, dude. If you have an evening where you and Olivia have some hours to just like chill and you don't have to be on a schedule, the cool thing about Paris is there are Lime scooters. You guys know about Lime scooters?
Oh, yeah. I've done those in Raleigh.
Everywhere. Yes, same thing. Same brand. But they have other brands too. Get you a scooter, one of their electric rentals, and dude, in Paris, you could just bike it with traffic.
So I was kind of thinking...
That sounds awesome.
It's amazing.
I pitched her that maybe in like Nice or one of the other little beach towns that will rent Vespas.
That's cool. Do that too.
And do that.
But dude, rent you a little Lime. Once you're done with it, you just drop it off.
Yeah, I've done it before.
And just scooter around Paris.
So we only have 2 days in Paris. So
at night, it's amazing with the lights everywhere.
We're doing Moulin Rouge.
Sweet. What? Are you serious?
Yeah, we got tickets already.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of.
Have you ever seen it? Like have you seen it?
Are you talking about the theater, like the show about it?
The stage show that's like what it's about.
No. So there's a theater performance that's about Moulin Rouge.
I'm talking about like there's videos of it like all over the internet.
No, I haven't watched anything, and I you can spoil it for me. But
No. I'm not going to. No. But like that is so sick. That would be high on my list of things that I wanted to do.
Yeah, it was like, we talked about it. Her parents went, and I was like, all right, let's just do it. And so we did it, and we did the VIP. I don't know what they were very cryptic about what the VIP is, and so it was like a huge gamble. It was like you get nicer food and premium champagne and a surprise.
And extra
stuff. A surprise.
And I was like,
extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dude, that's going to be sick.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time. And we'll be holding it down over here.
Yeah, I just want to hit the beach, man, because if it were up to me, we'd be somewhere tropical.
You're going to be there how long?
Like 2 weeks?
12 days.
Oh.
Epic.
Almost 2 weeks.
days, yeah.
That's epic, dude.
Yep.
That's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I know it might be futile, but try to shake the nerves of the wedding thing. That's one of my biggest regrets is like I was a wreck. I was such a nervous wreck that like
Jenny had to take CBD.
Yeah,
and it helped. She didn't even cry during her vows.
I bawled like a baby. Oh my God.
I just have to channel the little performer mode that I have that y'all have seen. Mm-hmm. Like I just need to get into it.
I think the best thing you can do, man, honestly, to do yourself justice, is just be completely genuine and authentic.
That's the plan.
But then you're going to cry.
Like I would like to cry.
If you feel like you're emotional or if you feel like you're, going to cry or anything like that,
let it out.
Just do it. Because that's like the one day in your life where
you get
people are sitting there in the chair and they're like waiting.
People want to see you cry.
To see you be, yeah.
It's the only day you can cry as a man and not be judged. By everyone.
Well, also the birth of like your children too.
Yeah.
Also, like,
but only people there
depends
are
on who you ask.
No, I know. No, like I I'm not gonna stop it if I do, because if I try to stop it, it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, I'll reach over there with the finger and just kind of
raw finger, no tissue.
Yeah,
no. We can like hold hands behind your back. Me and him. Well, until I've
just what you did with your arm was funny.
I'll hold his hand behind his back until, of course, I like give him over to her. Then he's hers.
So wait,
you should just walk him up there in handcuffs behind his back, and then when they finally say their vows, you unlock it. And then
so no rings, just you get a key from Ryan.
Yeah. I'll walk him up in handcuffs, and then when it's like. When we're doing the legally, like, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband or whatever, I'll just give him over as her product.
So wait, we go from handcuffs to ball and chain?
No, you're the ball and chain, man.
You are. That's what he's saying.
I give you over as her product.
You're the product.
You're going home with me now.
The fact that you chose the word product.
I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah.
Because I love you.
Like you usually hear property.
Yeah.
Like which is like funny. It's like technically true, but it's weird. But you said product.
Honestly, I've been saying that a lot as a joke.
Yeah. It's what every guy who's about to get married does.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do when you're my property kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably do the same thing Charity does and boss me around and stuff.
It's funny because like right, exactly. Nothing's going to change there. But no. I still slip that joke in every now and then.
Doesn't mean I listen.
I get like once or twice a year. I'll just be like, yeah, well, you are my property. So
I never thought
just jokes. It's just jokes.
Of course it's jokes.
Obviously.
But Alex, pro tip for you, man. The first week, at least for me, dude, the first week I wore this ring, that bitch was hurting. Did you feel that?
Well, my ring has always been loose on my finger, and then when I lost a bunch of weight last year, it does not even fit me anymore.
Oh, yeah, so I noticed you haven't been wearing it.
I haven't worn it in a while, yeah. And oh my God, the amount of times I get asked like, why aren't you I thought you weren't married. Like, why aren't you wearing your ring? Like, I'm like, it just doesn't fit me anymore.
Yeah, I just assume never to ask those kinds of questions.
But I did.
Yeah.
Somebody did tell me like you can just go get it resized for cheap in the mall. So I'm probably gonna do that.
You can. They
going down a size is way cheaper.
They just like make little laser nicks and like cut out small portions of it and then just kind of like
Well, because
it's pretty easy.
They're removing material, not adding material.
Yeah.
So they don't charge you for the material.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, so we picked out our bands like a year ago. We got our bands.
I remember.
And then I switched jobs. So now I do a lot of like electrician type work.
You got to get the rubber ones.
The
I
rubber.
want one.
And I don't want.
I want one bad.
Dude.
I'm not a big fan.
But honestly, are you saying like you might not be able to wear it while you work? Because it might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't really mess with a lot of super high voltage stuff, and I'm not really worried about the arc. Like,
no, it's not that. I know 3 people. I just like last week's one of my coworkers was telling me a horror story about it, and this makes the 3rd person that I know who like knows somebody or it happened to them where like their ring got caught on something and it just pulled their finger off.
Yeah.
Like very easily. Dude, that happened to Jimmy Fallon. Like his finger didn't come off, but he was like at home the most normal day ever. He tripped and his finger got caught on the corner of a table and like split his finger in half.
Because the ring got caught on the corner?
Like fully like pulled skin off, had to have like crazy surgery. His finger was stuck like this forever. Like rings are like low key kind of dangerous.
So I might hang it on my necklace.
That is probably the move while you're like
That's
working.
a great idea, man.
I don't know.
That'd be super, like I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
That'd be swaggy.
Except Frodo.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I was thinking Lord of the Rings.
But
Which, by the way,
it fits really well.
By the way, Ryan and Jenny proposed to me
to be my efficient.
to be the efficient.
How did we propose to you? I forgot.
I think he came over with an envelope and you were like, open this.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I was
But I was in shock though.
Were we already doing the podcast at that point or no?
No.
Okay, yeah, this was
We were doing the podcast like 8 months later.
Wow.
So
So we were just there for the weekend, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even remember what we were doing. I just turned around and Ryan and Jenny are both on one knee and they handed me the one ring from Lord of the Rings on a chain. And they were like, will you marry us? And I was so in shock. I did not see that coming a mile away. Like, I didn't see it at all, but
It is a big shock asking to do somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
Both times. Now I've been asked twice, and both times I was like, what?
And I never thought that I would ever like do anyone's wedding ever. Never even considered it. Like never considered that I would be asked to do it.
Same.
So I was like fully in shock. Like, oh my God. You said we were talking about Lord of the
Well,
Rings.
that's why I felt like I had to, because I wasn't at your wedding. So I was like, well, then you got to do ours.
It did kind of feel like I'm ending.
Yeah.
I don't feel reverent enough to do that.
To do that.
Talking about PVC pipes and stuff.
Yeah. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
and
No,
we could
let's
leave
keep it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
keep it that
It's
way.
a good idea.
But,
I just don't feel like I've got what it takes.
well,
That's not true.
That's a
Some
self-limiting
people
belief,
got,
dude.
I know.
That's not true.
think
I wouldn't
anybody
have thought I did. I wouldn't have thought like I could have done something like that.
I could have told you. There's a reason you're on that side of the table, both of yous.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you.
Both of yous.
Y'all want to hear something shocking?
Yes.
Um,
Shock me.
We are on the final episode of The Sopranos.
That's shocking. How has season 6 or is it 5?
6.
How has season 6 been?
It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just because it's the last season. It's just so like, oh, start this episode, everything's going great. Boom, this character's dead. But no, it's just crazy because both of y'all like started it before us, and both of y'all convinced us to watch it, and we have just not stopped. Like, we're not watching anything.
And both of us have hit a roadblock in watching it.
Yeah.
I do that with shows. I started watching that like a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
started around the same time.
Really?
Yeah. He was a few months before you because he was telling me
so
to
maybe
watch
we're
it.
at a year.
Raven got me on it.
Yeah.
Raven, like, he just binged it in like a month or two. Like, just binged the whole thing and was like, bro, you have to watch The Sopranos. So I finally watched it. But
So
yeah.
I wanted to say this real quick about The Sopranos.
Okay.
In my mind, I was like, wow, this could be a whole episode. But I'm like, nah. It could be, but then I'd have to rewatch. From the jump, from the very beginning of the show, I was telling Jenny, this show is a cult. There is so much esoteric symbolism in this show, and it's very subtle. And now that we're on like the final episode, which we will likely finish tonight after we're done with all the recording, there have been like a couple of overt things that have kind of happened that I'm like, I fucking knew it. Telling Jenny, like last night I was telling her, see, I told you it's a goal. And it makes sense. It was like the biggest running show of the time. You know, that's how Hollywood works. So there's a couple things I wanted to run by you guys that pretty much are not spoilers, the things you've seen. Maybe not. Maybe not. Actually, now that I think about it, there's one that I can say.
Did y'all know that AJ and Meadow have their own show?
Yes.
Their podcast.
But I want to say this, because I'm not trying to rant for the listener to hear me talk about Sopranos the whole time. But, okay, so this is going to be a minor spoiler, if that's all right with you guys, but it has nothing to do like what happens in the main.
With Nick or with me or both?
Both.
Okay.
It's really minor. It's just one of those occult things. So
I do not care about spoilers.
Okay. So at one point, Tony does peyote. And again, like it's going to be some minor spoiler. It depends on, you know, what a spoiler is to you, but it's not going to be like major stuff that happens. And they're in Vegas, and there's a whole episode in season 6 that shows how like bad he is with gambling. Tony, like he's constantly blowing money. He goes through this whole phase where he's blowing hundreds of thousands of dollars in gambling and getting into debt.
Damn.
So they set that up, and then several episodes later, I think it was like the third from the last, he goes, some terrible, terrible, terrible things have happened. Characters die, things like that. Serious main characters, you know, because it's the end of the show. And he's, you know, going away. He's all distraught. He does peyote in Las Vegas, and he goes to gamble. He wins like $70,000. Psychic. His intuition. He's having this psychic moment where he's seeing these patterns. He's winning the money, and then he goes outside and he's like, looks at the sun, and the sun flashes at him in a flash of light, and then he starts standing in the pose of a cross, and he's like, I get it now. I get it. And then he goes to therapy, and he starts talking about these metaphysical revelations that he had in his head, and it's like really insightful stuff, like about, I saw my mother and all mothers as being the bus that carries us here to this world, and then, you know, we suffer in life because we're trying to stay on the bus, but we have to go forward. It's just like this kind of stuff like that, and
damn,
I just thought that was crazy, like the overt occult symbolism. But
I feel like in almost every season there's something.
Yes,
and throughout the whole show there's a huge emphasis on dreams.
Yes.
Like,
and there's some things that are unfolding now that were set up for like 4, 5, 6 seasons. And I just want to put your mind toward this, that when Christopher goes through his initiation, which by the way, it was, you know, pricking their fingers, drawing blood, candle, they're wearing this regalia, and there's a
crow in the window.
There's a crow. That's what I was going to say. There's a crow. And something to do with, they had an altar, and I think they had cards on the table, like tarot cards or something. So just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, I wanted to see what you guys would say when I was like, I'm on the last episode.
That's awesome.
End of an era.
Yeah, that's awesome. We will definitely be finishing it at some point. We like to jump around show to show, and then I also get into modes where all I want to watch is One Piece. And so, yeah, but we will finish it at some point very soon.
So that was a random tangent. How do you guys feel about giving them a little bit about Green Boys?
Yeah, let's do that before we... If this is your first stream of consciousness episode, this is how they go. We just like get in here. It's like usually when we are in like busy points in our life, and we just kind of get in here and update y'all on what's been going on. Just like chit chat, whatever.
We be streaming.
Yeah, we be streaming.
If you enjoy it, let us know.
Yeah.
If you enjoy just hearing us talk candidly about our personal lives and just kind of like, you know, chatting with each other, necessarily not with a topic or like some focused educational content. I mean, we really like doing this. I've really enjoyed this.
I love it.
I've had a great time.
We just sprinkle them in every now and then, every couple months or so.
It took us like 3 years to do the second one.
And now we're in love with the format.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sprinkling them in every now and then.
And if you like Stream of Consciousness, you're going to love Green Boys.
Green Boys! We've been conceptualizing this for a long time. And it's our new Patreon show. It's going to be out soon, in the next couple months.
In the fall.
Yeah,
we'll say fall.
We can confidently say in the fall for
Mid-late fall.
Yeah,
After Alex's wedding.
Yes, for sure. And Green Boys is going to be the new show, and it's going to be the show where we get in here and we get all of our energy out. You know, some of y'all's favorite moments from the show are like when we role play as characters and when we just like completely goof off and go on these like goofy tangents and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of that, and then like some other high energy type content. It's going to be like a creative kind of outlet.
Party.
It's going to be a party. The way I think of it in my mind is it's like full disclosure, where it's just like we show up and we just like kind of vent our hearts out, but instead of it being like more personal things, I mean, sometimes it can be.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just kind of like a lighthearted comedy show.
Goofy.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
We're going to be goofy on Green Boys. So we, a couple nights ago, we got in here because I've been telling them for months, like, we're going to do a new like theme song for Green Boys. It's going to be its own show and all this stuff, but I want us to make the song together. I want us to be in the room and make the song together. I had like experimented with some stuff, but
because all the other songs, it's just Nick.
It's just me. And they turned out like, I'm happy with the way that those turned out.
Amazing.
But thank you. But I was like, this one, I want all of our energy in it. And we made it the other night right here in this room. And like what we came up with was we were laughing so like for an hour straight making this song. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
That's going to be the energy of Green Boys. Just like goofy, having so much fun.
There's a lot of moments in this show where like you have to understand as the listener, like, you know, we're trying to do something different here. We want to have like very deep, mystical, profound spiritual conversation about all these XYZ, occult and paranormal and conspiratorial and whatever subjects. But like also at our core, we just like to cut up and have fun. And I feel like our solution was to create a show where all of that energy that we have on this show that sometimes we want to spend on that, now we can have a whole segment for that.
That's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
That is the perfect way to put it.
It's a must for us.
It is. It's an outlet for that type of energy.
Yeah.
Which then creates more room in BSS, the main show, to do main show things.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's not saying either that, BSS is going to change. It's just, I think like the more, dude, like I can't deny that when we started Full Disclosure, I started to feel more confident in myself when it came to record this show.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I think you can go back and look at that and see that real time.
Definitely. And I feel like us getting into Green Boys, I think we're all just going to feel better about what we're... I mean, it's just all going to gel. It's all going to be firing together on all cylinders. And I'm very excited.
I am too. It's going to be so goofy and so much fun. So if you want more Yellowstone role play, get on over to Green Boys.
I've been thinking about that. I've been telling y'all today, like, I really want to do some GTA 5 role play servers.
Yeah. We're going to do one IRL in this room.
I've been thinking... Yeah, exactly. I've been thinking about some sort of potential BSS streaming thing, but I don't know. That's later.
Yeah, we can do it.
Now that we've talked Patreon, we might as well... You want to give them a plug, Alex?
A Patreon plug?
All plugs.
Yeah.
We rarely do it. We
BledsoeSaidSo.com. We have merch and all of our details on there. That leads you over to Patreon. Patreon.com/BledsoeSaidSo. Gets you perks. Gets you into the Mothership Discord. Chat with everybody. Super like-minded community. Mm-hmm. Very supportive community. Very loving community. It's been awesome hanging out with 500 people who just get along.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you get Discord. You get episodes a day early. And
2 days.
You get full 2 days early.
Yeah,
Sorry.
2 days early.
2 days early.
Yep, Monday.
And you get Full Disclosure, which is a show, basically Ryan pouring his heart out on camera. Yeah. And then you'll also have an option for Green Boys and some other perks come the fall. So patreon.com/BledsoeSaidSo is the best way to support us.
New tier?
New tier?
And then,
also, subscribe on the YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe
I don't think
on
we've
the
ever
almost
said
at
this.
20K. Might be at 20K by the time this comes out.
It was 19,700 today when I looked.
Might be
Yesterday we were at 19,600.
So
Wow.
20,000
Wow.
special. Yeah. We talked about that.
You know what?
I don't think we've ever... Yeah, we want to do a 20,000 sub
right
special. I don't think we've ever done like a plug for subscriptions or
Never.
anything like that.
Never.
But there's about 50% of our
19.7.
viewership is subscribed. So if you like us and you want to see more, please subscribe. It helps the show a lot.
Yeah, it helps us to be like more on the algorithm and YouTube and all that. And also, like, if you want to follow us on social media, we really should do this more. We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on that. But we do have an Instagram, and my lovely wife, Jennifer, who I was, spending a great deal bragging about today, confessing my feelings at our wedding. That one. She works very hard on our Instagram. She works very hard on our social medias. And, if you want to see our updates and what we're planning, obviously every week we're posting about episode content, just all future ideas, all that stuff. It's
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Stuff.
Yeah, anything. Our main hub of social media is Instagram, and it's at Bledsoe Podcast on Instagram.
Bledsoe Family Developments.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. Insta. Get over to her.
I am not sponsored. One of those little fast ad reads,
Also, look, we have neon. Isn't that cool? We already did an episode with the neon, but
isn't that cool?
It's cool.
It is cool, man.
It's cool.
Yeah, we haven't even acknowledged.
We didn't talk about it at all.
No, but it's because we're doing the Instagram post. So in my mind, it's like,
but our boy Derek did it.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
But
yes, he did.
That first episode that it's in, I brought you guys in with a big wide shot. Woo! So you can't miss it.
What was that, King Arthur?
Yeah.
So iconic, bro. Do you remember in the Da Vinci Code episode, we talked about the blade and the chalice?
Yeah.
And how like the sword or the blade is the masculine energy. And I just thought that was kind of cool, bro. We got the glowing ass motherfucking triangle on the King Arthur episode. It's the blade.
Cool. It's the blade.
Who knows?
All right. Love y'all.
Love you guys. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other videos.
And before you go, don't forget to subscribe. See you next week. Peace.